you're all right. You understand the eagle a little better now, how they soar so high in the wind. You feel like that eagle, you know. So that's what I really want you guys to get in the end, man. I know we all got similar experiences, you know. Everybody in the world went through something that I've been through. And you can, I'm letting you know, some of the people that went through like one of those experiences that I've been through, one of them had destroyed their whole life. They ain't went through the combination for a whole lifetime, back to 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 back. Thousands of bad decisions, hundreds of bad decisions, over and over and over, and yet I survived, man. That's why I think it was my calling to go through what I've been through, to be an example to the world, to all of you. And no matter what you've been through, man, you can still find some joy and happiness, man. And that's real talk. You can still find some joy and happiness. There is, greener pastures. But you have to get up. You got to go get it. You got to seek it. And for you young people out there who's going through the stuff some of the stuff I'm going through, that I went through as a child, that you're going through right now as a child, a teenager, young adult, family, whatever. But more importantly, the young people, the biggest mistake you can make, and I love all y'all, the good and the bad. That because you're good don't mean you ain't got no issues. Because you nice don't mean you ain't got no issues. You can still explode at any time if you don't get this junk resolved. Just like Mr. Wilkerson, that was in my class, 80-year-old nuclear physicist, got in trouble to end up in prison. Because he hadn't dealt with the issue as a child when both of his parents got beheaded riding a bicycle down the street and the truck drove by with two metal plates sticking out and cut their head off. They was on a twin bicycle. He didn't have no therapy. Nobody gave him no counseling. They barely even had counseling going on back then in the early, 20s and 30s. For poor people anyway. But he went on, got an education, went on to become a nuclear physicist, worked on nuclear submarine. He was probably a model guy in his neighborhood, to the people that knew him, but at a certain point, he exploded, and he was 80. You can explode any time. It ain't never over until it's over. So I'm saying to the young people, the biggest resource you have is your elders. Don't write your elders off. That's a lot of wise counsel. Google can't give you what your elders can. You might think Google can give you what your elders can. But let me just tell you this about us, elders, versus Google. Google don't have sensory perception. When you're talking about a specific person, place, or thing, Google can't tell you how they feel when you talk to it, or when you reading what it gives you back. It can't tell you how the person feel, what the person's body language is saying to you in your presence. See, all those things are forms of communication. The intonations of their voice, how a particular environment may look, but how does it feel? How does it smell? What's the sensation you get from all of your senses when you at that spot, at that environment? Google can't give you that. That wonderment of a moment, of an experience. It give you some information, but it can't give you the experience. It's a big difference. And I ask that you, younger people, please, don't write off your elders. You're losing too much knowledge. The elder ain't gonna give it to you if you're a knucklehead. They're not gonna pass pearls to swine. They're not gonna put pearls on swine. Throw pearls at swine. They're not gonna do it. You're a knucklehead, they ain't gonna give you that. They ain't gonna do it. Because they're afraid of you, they don't know, they ain't gonna give it to no crazy man. You're gonna take this knowledge, then you already crazy. You want to try to manipulate people and make the world even better now that you got some keys to operate in your slick operation. You really finna be, a slickster and a conning, deceptive person now. So humble yourself. Approach your elder. Talk to them. Because they want to pay it forward. They want to pass it down. Because they know it always has been that way throughout the evolution of humankind. They're waiting on you guys, you youngsters, to ask us for something. Ask us what we know. Ask us what you're interested in about life, about experience, relationships, travel, places, things, people. We're waiting on you. But if you're violent, destructive and doing crazy, there's an old adage that says, the master will appear when the student is ready. As long as you wilding out, ain't no master gonna approach you. But you calm down and settle down and start acting respectable in the community. The elders watching you. We watching y'all. We watch y'all. Y'all think we ain't watching. Y'all our kids. We watching y'all. We looking for that unique one. That's respectable, that's humble, that shows humility. Toward all people that they meet, not just some, but everybody. We're looking at those type of people who speak, who's polite to people in the community, who cut another elder's yard knowing she living by herself. Miss So-and-so down the street, go down there and cut her yard. She'll throw you something, cut her yard. She wants you to run an errand to the store. You need me to go to the store for you, Miss So-and-so? You got, Uber Grub, You might just walk down, you might be living down a block or two from the corner store. You can walk down there, drive down, whatever. Pay attention who's in your community. Speak to your neighbors. Be neighborly. We don't forget how to be neighbors. But, I can go on and on and on and on in that story, but that was definitely behavioral patterns is what I really want you to take away, and how they are linked, together throughout the various stages of our lives, and how they interplay, in our mental development and emotional development, and how they can distort our mental and disturb our emotional. It causes us to do self-destructive things, be abusive to our kids, our wives, our girls, you know, people in the neighborhood pulling out, you know, those gats and want to sling bullets and all this. That's where it's coming from. I've been there. I've been through it. That's why I'm sharing it with you. Because I love y'all, man. All of y'all, not just the young, all of y'all, the whole world. I love the whole world. I deal with humans. I'm letting you know that right now. I deal with human beings. I love all people, the good and the bad. You say, why you love the bad? Because I used to be bad. I know the bad got the potential to be extraordinarily good. Because I know how hard it is to get back to good. If you've been good all your life, that's an easy route. But if you've been bad and you found your way back to good, chances are you're going to be good for the rest of your life. That good person he been thinking about some bad things. He just ain't found he ain't ran across the right temptress yet to make him go left. And hopefully he don't. Hopefully he stay strong and stay good. You know, but it's that potential. But when you done went all the way left, it's like that fish. When it's time to sperm, they got to go back upstream. Then you seen some of them, as they go back upstream, they run into a little waterfall. And they got to try to swim up the wave and get back to that level water. And they go and keep going, keep running up and down, keep running up and down. Every now and then, a few of them make it. Get back to the spring where they was originated at, the sperm. That's how it is when you went left in that life and you coming back, you know, to righteousness, you know, and take that pathway, you know, for good. You know, you done made a hell of a journey back. It was easy to go left down, but to get back, you had to go up that waterfall like that fish, you know, to get back to righteousness. And I know that struggle, but I also know it can be done because we have been given free will. We can will ourselves up that stream, and that's what it's going to take. Sheer willpower to get back up that stream. But when they do, when you see a person that was left, was bad, and they converted their life back to good, you should applaud that person. And I'm not saying it for me. I'm saying it for everybody who done been through that, been down there, you know, and realize, hey man, this ain't no life, man. This ain't nothing. This is madness. And spinning it back around and hey, out of sheer willpower, get up that waterfall and get back on flat water and get back to his place where he originated from, you know, and spawn that goodness out. I want to give myself an applause, you know, just to think about that and share that with you, because this is spontaneous. I didn't write this up. This is just, you know, it just came off the top of my head. But looking at it like that, going back, because some of the waterfalls is taller than others now. Don't get it twisted. Some of them is, you know, maybe 3 or 4 feet. You know, then some of them maybe 12 feet. And then some of them is tall, 20 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet. I know I climbed that big boy to get back. I climbed that big boy, and I'm not being conceited or nothing, you know, But I'm proud of myself. You know, that was a great will of an effort to get back here, to be in a loving place and to love everybody. You know, but I'm saying this to say this to y'all. Everybody has the potential. You just got to get on up and will yourself back to right. If you know, because just because you're doing good financially don't mean you ain't mad and angry and stuff. I walk around every day. I go to different grocery stores. I look at women. The average woman I look at is angry. They going through some stuff. Most of the time I encourage them to smile. Put a smile on your face today. You know, I encourage them to smile because I know it's tough out there, man. You know, sometimes you got to delete motherfuckers out your life, man. When you make that decision to go back upstream, you're going to have to leave. You more likely you're going to be leaving a whole lot of people back at that wading pond. You know, back at that pond or that lake. You know, when you take that river back upstream, you might leave a whole bunch of them in that lake or that pond you left them at. And when you go back up there and spawn that goodness, and you come back down, well, most time when you come back to spawn, that's going to be your final resting place. You're going to stay there